wanna get high, man?
Let's stimulate your mind.
Get up, Chucky!
What have we got here? A fucking comedian.
Rojan Kim?
Hello, and welcome to the Rojan Kim cast. It's me, Rojan Kim. Thank you so much for joining me for episode 196. It's September 14th, 2020. Yeah, September 14th. We just had our 19th anniversary of September 11th, everybody. Yay! Where were you on September 11th? Do you remember? I remember I was in Oakland, California, about to teach. I don't know, maybe I was into my second or third week of teaching fourth grade at Nystrom Elementary School in Richmond, California. I was 22 years old, 23. I'm getting older and older, but I was working at 22, whatever. I was working out at a college, first job out of college. Great times. I remember telling the kids how we were how the World Trade Center was attacked. You might hear about it. None of them could care less. None of them cared. And the next day, none of them cared. Nobody cared at all because I was teaching in a super poor neighborhood. And poor people don't care about two buildings of the richest people in the world getting demolished by who knows what and who. They didn't know anything about it. They didn't care. I could tell you that, the poor kids that I taught didn't care, but some of the poor people who lived around me I remember my neighbor just being like, we're going to war. That's it. We're going to war. Right? And look at us now. I remember a couple years later, I quit teaching because I said, you know what? These kids are not patriotic. They don't deserve to be taught proper education. They're at a public school. This is a state-run, a government school that gets federal funding. How dare they not care about 9/11? So I left those kids, okay? Because they were selfish, frankly. They were bad kids. They deserve... No, they should have been locked up back then. I mean, they're adults now. They're 30. They're they probably have their own kids that could get locked up. Whatever. I hope you're out. Gustavo, shout out to Angel-Eyed Gustavo, who told his classmate Vanessa, I believe it was Vanessa, that he would rape her to death in the sidewalk. This was an 8-year-old boy, 9, cute little kid. I just had to be like, who taught you how to say that? And he was like, my mother. And I was like, oh, you son. I had to not laugh. He almost got me. He fucking got me, that little bat. I'm like, get you're staying. I didn't really do anything. Honestly, because right after that, there's a fight in the hallway, a physical altercation, and I had to step in. This giant kid headlocking this other kid, and he wouldn't let go, and I had to fucking get in his face, and he finally Anyways, is that my 9/11 story? No, that was my personal 9/11. Okay, when Gustavo told me he would, he said, "I'm gonna rape you to death." I mean, it's terrible. What a terrible thing. But he's such a cute little kid, very smart as a whip. Anyways. He got in trouble. Told him he can't say that, but he had a good comeback. I gotta give it to him. I was too young. What am I gonna do? I wasn't prepared or equipped for the level of, maturity that I needed to not laugh at that. It's hard not to laugh. So I knew I had to get out. I got out. I got into commercials. I started PAing. I started PAing at this production company. I helped them on this indie film, and through that I got some commercial work PAing. And I just remember one day I was working on this car commercial, locking down traffic in downtown San Francisco, and I saw these kids. They would look very jocks, racial mix, blacks, whites. I don't know why that's irrelevant. Is that not relevant? Well, the point was that it was all girls. It was a very, well represented group of people, and they were all just like, where's your flag, bro? I don't see people wearing their flags, man. I wear my flag every day. And then one of the kids had this fucking American flag tattooed, and he was like, I wear mine every day. So it was a period of real patriotism that I remember, right? Real, just solid, everybody's like, America, and even the world was like, yeah, and everybody's like, yeah. And then things are going okay for a couple years until Iraq, right? Until 2003, when all of a sudden They're like, we're going to invade Iraq. And everybody's like, why? Like, why? And they're like, they got WMDs. And Colin Powell had the little vial of uranium at the UN. He's like, yellow cake uranium. And then Robert Mueller testified as the head of the FBI. Testified. He's like, we've got credible evidence that there's, we're going to, from interrogating people and we're going to get them. We're good. It's out there, especially, just the intelligence community's got it, and of course the CIA, the intelligence community, that part of the intelligence community had the green light to torture people, torture them, yay! And then it was actually not under the torture that we found Osama bin Laden, not under the torture we found out anything about WMDs. It's all bullshit. It all turned out to be bullshit. That's just what they wanted. In the 90s, they were thinking, before 9/11, they were thinking of ways to get into Iraq, okay? Because we were bombing Iraq after the first war, and we're still bombing them. Like, Clinton had no-fly zones. He was bombing them. And then as Clinton was getting out, everybody who was still in there, what one might call the deep state, one being Trump, might call the deep state, hey, we decided to go into Iraq when there was no reason, no connection to 9/11. I mean, do you need me to tell you? You can have Joe Biden tell you who voted for it, okay? President Joe Biden, who got us into Iraq, will tell you why. I guess it was worth it to kill over 1 million Iraqis. That's just Iraq. Killed 1 million Iraqis, made ISIS, made more terrorists. We're still now we're going to scrap with Iran because we destabilized the country next to them, and then they had to step in, and now we're like, you can't step into the destabilization. I mean, it's just, come on. It's just, the whole thing is like literally like a plot to a comedy. Like a comedy show, right? Like It's Always Sunny or something, right? And this is like, the gang goes to war forever. So the gang commits to perpetual war. It's just like, hey guys, what if we made a killing? It's just like, all right. I mean, I just think that, so yeah, hey, look, we were attacked. Yeah, we were. But then we did that to bunch of other people over and over. We did it to, we started expanding into Pakistan. We turned 2 wars into 7, possibly 8. I mean, we probably have secret wars. Honestly, I don't put it past us to have some secret wars. Do you? I mean, come on. We got secrets. You think everything's up and up? You think we have a transparent government and transparent military working? No way. No way. I always think about how, like, dude, we're fighting people in Yemen who are, like, tribes people, like they... Because Yemen is considered one of the most backwater countries in the whole Middle East. I remember my friend Bassam, he was like telling me just about like, that's whenever you wanted to clown someone, you would be like, it's from Yemen. That's just the backwater, that's just what you say. They're from Yemen. So you got these guys, they don't understand modern warfare. They just have their tribal warfare, right? And if you kill one of their family members, it's a blood oath. They're now honor bound to find the person, right? And what do? We send over fucking drones, right? Fucking shoot missiles out of the sky at them, like fucking Skynet. Like, that's who we are. Like, we're literally Skynet, where you send robot planes to just eradicate people. And they run. They're like, and they gotta like dream about taking down the machine. They'd be so angry. And if you had like a blood oath thing going on, who do you take your revenge on? You're like, who do I kill? Right? It's kind of like, I talked about this before about like how Iron Man, the plot of Iron Man is really about our war guilt, about Tony Stark's war guilt over manufacturing weapons, right? That said Stark Industries on him. Well, that's what's happening now in Yemen when Saudi Arabia is bombing the shit out of him. All those weapons say made in the USA. So that's when a drone comes, because we still do drone strikes there despite the war going on between the Houthis and the Saudis or whatever. We still have fucking drones, and we do drone strikes, and all they get to see from that is pieces of shrapnel that say made in the USA, and that's it. That's their enemy. The enemy, right? The enemy of my enemy is me. So I think, I don't know. I think the best thing we can do is go over there, go over to Yemen and explain to them, the best way to strike back at the heart of America is bad words. You know what I mean? Because if you just use the wrong gender, misgender someone, or I don't know, just say the wrong thing. You could even speak Mandarin and accidentally say something that sounds like the N-word, and you will get demolished in America. And I don't know, it's somehow we got to go over there and teach them that it's like, look, the way things are done in America is different. They don't really care about lives. They don't, like, if you kill some American, it's not, they don't really care. What you got to do is you got to strike at the heart of their very souls, right? And use antiquated terms, like call somebody retarded or, whatever it is. There's a whole list of words you can look up, or just say that there are two genders. If you do that, you will literally bring half of America to its knees. And if I can just explain that to the Yemeni people, it's like they're engaging in there's like two wars going on, right? Yeah, I get it. There's literal war on their doorstep. There's fire raining from the sky, and their babies are starving from our sanctions. I get all that, but all their anger is misplaced. They're gonna find someone who they think is American and kill them. It's very easy to understand. Like, I empathize with those people. Like, it's like if we could send over all our, I don't know, pedophiles and rapists and murderers, whatever, and they can have at them, what an amazing world that would be. What a system. What a system we have where our war debt includes just sending them people we would execute and just have them do it for shits and giggles. But unfortunately, that's not humane or something. So instead, we have to murder them with sky robots and starve their babies. So that's what we have to do instead. So anyways, I feel like the way that we could just get them to strike back is to maybe create a meme farm, and then just start making pro-Trump memes. Pro-Trump memes that, that will really, really trigger everybody. If they want to pick a side. Honestly, what they should do is just make memes for both sides and trigger everybody. And they could just, the whole country, maybe that's what they're already doing. Honestly, they're saying the Russians, everybody's saying like the Russians and the Chinese are doing it. Maybe it's actually the countries we are fucking up. Maybe it's the 7 countries we're bombing. Maybe they got some like good meme lords in there making memes and fucking fighting us on the meme front, because that's the war of public opinion, right? That's the war of the secret. It's like secret opinions, secret. People go on 4chan who like to remain anonymous. People who like express opinions that are not seen as, proper, or, they're problematic, your views, like things like that. The country's ripe for it. It's just a suggestion. I think Yemen could strike back at the heart of America. You just fucking refuse to use their pronouns, just, I don't know, say that there is no gender wage gap. Say that people will. It's like that would be like 10 9/11s. You understand? You destroy 10 buildings with 3,000 people each. 30,000 people dead. Nothing. Nobody cares. 190,000 people died from COVID. We think. Some of them had heart attacks, but we just said it's COVID. It doesn't matter. You think we actually care about these people? We don't care. We don't care about these people, and we don't care about the people we're bombing overseas. So what we truly care about is feelings. That's what we truly care about, and that's where the war is probably going to be next. Okay, it's going to be the war for our feelings, right? And boy, America, I don't know. I just don't think they have a real stiff upper lip nowadays. They seem to be really catching feelings real easy. They seem to just capitulate to feelings. Everybody's just whatever. It's so easy to trigger people now. It's so easy. It's just because everything is about triggering, right? Everything is about triggering an emotional response. Even the word triggering is triggering, right? That's like a propaganda or something. Like just words themselves are triggering. Not even words, letters. They're starting to advocate instead of spelling it women, WOMEN, it's like put an X, but WOMXN. Take like that's doing, because that'll do it. That's doing. Problem solved. We fixed it. I don't even know what the problem. I guess it's just that it's derivative, and they don't like that. They say, I don't know who they are. How does this? Well, I guess J.K. Rowling. I can see J.K. Rowling coming out and being like, we can't spell it WOMXN. What are you guys, retarded? And then everybody's feelings get hurt, and they're like, we gotta cancel her. We gotta kill her. Kill J.K. Rowling. Fuck you and your Harry Potter billions. Fuck you for bringing joy to all these people when actually what you were doing is spreading cisgendered propaganda. Fuck you, you turf. And that of course would be the natural response of people. in the Twitterverse, not just Americans, the Western world, whatever you want to call it, the woke crowd. And if anything, maybe what we should do is recruit J.K. Rowling to go train the Yemenis in this culture war. You know, I think that's maybe the best thing. Because J.K. Rowling, first of all, great writer. Say what you will about the lady, but she's a great writer. Okay, Harry Potter books. You just come on, you just consume those things. Like there's no stopping them. You just read them for fun. Big thick books, getting kids to read big thick books. That's cool. Okay, fine. Maybe maybe there are anti-trans messages in there. Maybe that's a little bit of a problem. Okay, but I don't know. Was it anti-trans? I don't know. Fucking, there was polymorph juice. They could transform, but that seems. It's all dumb. It's all stupid, right? But anyways, J.K. Rowling, I think she should. General Rowling, okay? General Rowling should go to Yemen and train a new set of troops, to engage in the culture war, right? To say that, according to the Quran, Allah says there are only two genders. Use the pillars of Islam to fight social justice and critical race theory. You know what I'm saying? Like, just get in there as sort of like the polar opposite of them, where they're just like, no, we need a nuclear family, man, woman, nuclear family. A man needs to get with a woman half his age plus 7, right? That's like what the Honorable Elijah Muhammad said, and I think is that in the Quran? I don't know. Muhammad was known to bang him young, but didn't everybody back then? I don't know. I mean, I don't know how to where it's not right. Okay, I'm not condoning it. I'm not saying it's okay. I'm just saying back then I think it'd be a harder sell to explain why it's not right. That's all, I think. I feel like some people probably still were like, this doesn't seem right. Like, I mean, Muhammad is a prophet, but he's banging like a 10-year-old girl. Is that 10 back then was probably like old maid, right? Ew. They were like, ugh, double digits, gross, right, back then. But anyways, that's something maybe J.K. Rowling can teach the Yemenis also, if they have questionable sexual practices with children. All sexual practices with children are not good. Okay, I'm putting that out there. That's a firm stand. I don't like to take sides, in a lot of issues, politically, whatever, but I will plant my flag. I will die on this hill. There should be no sex with kids, okay? Nothing involving kids. In fact, sexualizing, I think they shouldn't even be in entertainment. Like, I think all children should be banned from entertainment, okay? Maybe the Yemeni culture warriors will help us. I'm not really picking it. I guess I'm more interested in the chaos that could ensue in the meme war if the Yemenis got involved. But I'm not advocating for violence. That's why I'm saying let's move it to this cultural realm. Like, stop the violence. Let's make some memes. Let's get some real fucking, let's really move the earth. Just like last time. There was a meme war, and it's all part of how Trump won. And if the left just studied it, understood it, instead of condemning Pepe, instead of condemning 4chan, the hacker known as 4chan, instead of condemning him, maybe they could have learned a thing or two about how to activate people on that, that meme level, on the level, because memes cut to the soul. They cut to the heart. They're emotional. They get right in there. Emotional. It's the perfect combination of emotion and intellect. Little jokes, little memes. Come on. Gotta pick it up. The problem is when you're like all serious and you're on the side of good, it's that you can't meme. That's why there's a meme called the left can't meme, because in order to memes are basically like just being an asshole, right? Just being a comic in a way, or being a fucking class clown, right? You gotta have a little bit of that mischief in there. You can't be all like, hey guys, we're on the side of good, and make these memes that are like, you can, but it's just like your mom making a meme. You know what I mean? Like Democrat memes are just kind of like your mom making them and sending them to you, and you're like, oh great mom, that's cute. I'm not gonna share this with anybody. I'll share this to make fun of her. I'll share this with the whole family to be like, look at this dumb shit mom. But I won't. I'm not gonna share it with my friends and be like, ooh, here you go. But that is what our whole society is now. I don't think just America. I think the whole world is starting to turn into this meme-based clickbait society, right? Clickbait rules everything around me, right? Like, there's this whole controversy with this Cuties movie, right? You know about it. Fucking lascivious, sexual girls, just little prepubescent girls dancing, right? That's at least that's what's sort of being projected out there. The movie itself is not supposed to be, I don't know, I guess the movie itself is actually condemning it, and the movie itself is made by this woman who is like surprised about this behavior, and she's also like this French African lady who like had no clue that there would be this crazy backlash, right? And then all of a sudden there's like, she can't even watch the movie in her own country because she doesn't have Netflix or something. I don't know. It's just like, it just sucks for her, I guess, because she had no clue. She didn't know what she was walking into. Also in French, it's called mignon, so that's funny. Filet mignon. Cuties. But I think the real issue there was the poster. It's the poster that the Americans came up with that really caused the hubbub, controversy. And then they sort of selectively cut clips out of it. There's a huge thing. And then it became this weird political thing where it was just like right-wingers are anti-pedophilia. Which is a weird position to take, to be like, no, the Democrats are okay with, don't see weirdness in this imagery. Like, what's wrong with you? There's no global pedophile ring. Meanwhile, like Clinton and Epstein, Clinton and Epstein, Catholic Church, Penn State, British. I mean, hello. Anyways, I think that Cuties was actually, the whole thing was a false flag. That's what I think. I think that the marketing department knew exactly what was going to happen when they put out that poster, and who they would enrage the QAnon guy. They would enrage everybody. It would be like, there'd be sort of like a sex positive crowd, the guys who love Desmond, that little stripping boy who's great. That's what they say. And then, but then it also activates the like the QAnon, Pizzagate, Epstein, conspiracy theorists, and like, what is this shit? What is this fucking right? It activates everybody. And it was designed, it was like a psyop. It was a psyop designed to trigger all sides of the internet, generate buzz, eyeballs, boom, Cuties. Through the roof. Are you kidding me? We're making money off this motherfucker. Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. Because if it bleeds, it leads. And those girls may not be old enough to, but money bags, okay? Money. That's what it's all about. Cha-ching. They can still make a buck, right? They can still make a buck even if they don't fuck. All right? Ooh, I can't do this. This is going to get me, this is the one to get me canceled for sure. No, listen, I didn't watch it. I know people who watched it and they said it's not that bad. It's actually in this context, but then, in the context of criticizing the sexualization, but at the same time, I guess it is showing them being sexualized. So there is sort of that argument. And in the end, it's all much ado about just some child pedophilia. I mean, just some pedophilia? Come on. Like I said, it's part of the fabric of this country. It's everywhere. The church, Penn State, it's everywhere. The kids in the cages. You don't think they're being trafficked? Hollywood. Oh, come on. Hollywood is just rife with kids being trafficked for sex, kids being sexualized, kids being raped, probably being murdered so they don't talk. And a lot of them taking their own lives. Suicide. A lot of them being driven to suicide, driven to drugs. A lot of them going mentally, insane, just going crazy, right? That's why I say you gotta abolish all the children. That's what I'm saying, But I really do think, this was like a masterful stroke of marketing, possibly by Obama, because Obama is a producer at Netflix, and I think Obama knew that he could activate the Republican critique machine. There's like a Republican there's like these polarized critique machines, right? One's on the left, one's on the right. And so if you play it right, you can get you can bounce them off each other, so you get the buzz of both sides, and then you get all the buzz. And then the buzz will go away, but all that matters is that sweet, sweet pop. That pop in that buzz, you get a lot of engagement, you get clicks, you get numbers, and that turns into data, and that turns into money. Okay? It's all about money in the end. Cuties. Okay? It has nothing to do. Yeah, it's gross. They dance and there's some message about empowerment. Yeah. They don't care about any of that. They don't care about it. They just care about the greenies, okay? They care about the money, the moolah. That's all. That's what really matters in the end, okay? I mean, at some point, they're going to be like, you know what? It's making money. Watching children die. We got a lot of footage of these kids dying. And then we probably do with the 7 wars we probably have we got all kinds of footage of kids starving, little skeletal babies, blown apart babies, babies running into a hospital for shelter and then a missile hitting that. We got all kinds of babies dying. We got tons of footage of this stuff. I mean, we got at least 20 years, and come on, frankly, it goes back all the way to like when there were hand cranking cameras. All right, yeah, murder those babies, eh? Like that sort of old timey baby killing footage. We got it all. We got all kinds of baby killing footage. We got it all. Okay, we got all kinds of it. We could be editing one of those 10-hour YouTube videos of babies dying. Okay, from war. Like just from our hand, we could do that. You want to throw in some other? You want to throw in the Japs? You want to throw in that's another 10 hours. If you want to throw in the Japs, they got tons of footage of pictures that they were crazy about. You think the Japs were fucking crazy about taking pictures of tourists? You should have seen them as war criminals. Okay, there's fucking pictures of like decapitations. That's actually kind of funny. I kind of feel like that was a gem that fell out of that. I'm gonna write down war criminal Jap photos. Okay, then I will remember what I came up with. Anyways, look, get rid of the kids. Get rid of them in the entertainment. There should be none. All right? Why not? What? What's the compelling reason to ruin these kids' lives? What is our entertainment? Because we like it, because it's fun for us. And then they can die for. I mean, sometimes that is true. Great art, sometimes I believe, requires sacrifice, and people have been sacrificed at the altar of art. I mean, for instance, The Shining, right? Shelley Duvall. She's done after that movie, and that was like the sacrifice. That was a human sacrifice made to make that movie great, and that movie become something bigger than itself, bigger than all the people involved, bigger than Shelley Duvall. It's like her soul was literally sucked out by the muse and then put into the movie so that people will be affected by it and forever remember it and her performance and everything. But she's wrecked. She's gone. She's like a shell of herself. I mean, she's no longer. That movie ruined her. I mean, Stanley Kubrick fucking murdered her soul just to make that movie. Okay? And sometimes we need to do that. And I think consenting adults, that's all part of that's the risk. Okay? You think it's all fun and games making movies? No, people can get hurt. People can go crazy. Bad things can happen. Good things can happen too. But it's just what it is. But children shouldn't be, they don't fucking understand. It's like kids in war. They're actually very good at war, okay? Kids are excellent at war. They're some of the best. In fact, if we really wanted to send the best warriors to war, we would all be sending our children, okay? We should, like little kids, because they will kill the fuck out of anybody. Their consciences aren't developed yet. Their critical thinking skills aren't developed yet. They just want to make you happy. They'll murder everybody. They'll murder each other. They'll murder themselves. They don't care. They'll do whatever they want. They have just mindless army of child soldiers just fucking genociding everybody, okay? If we let that happen, if we don't have some standards here, so we can't let the kids all go to war. So we stop them. And I think that's the same reason we stop them from going into entertainment, okay? Because they're actually little soulless bastards, you know what I mean? They don't know. It's the parents. The parents are putting them through it, right? Because they're getting something by proxy. Maybe the parents wanted to be stars, or they're getting the money, or the fan, whatever the fuck. Okay, the parents are gaining, and I guess it's like, oh, the kid, that's their calling. They love it. They love it. They love being sexualized, and they love having to work fucking 12-hour days, 16-hour days. They love this. They love not having a regular childhood. They love having to hit their mark and say a line over and over and basically just lie and bullshit and realize that the entire world is made out of people worshiping at the altar of bullshit and illusion, that everything is fake and people don't care and they love it and they lap it up and they're really just retarded. That's that adults are unthinking, unfeeling, rapacious monsters in charge of everything, that they're actually not there to help you, and that your own parents just sent you to the wolves. They just fed you to the wolves just for whatever fucking, 20 pieces of silver, whatever the fuck, you know what I'm saying? Like, they just, for their own gain. That's what you learn. That's worth it. That's worth it so I can, I don't know, watch fucking Amanda Bynes slowly lose her mind on the Disney Channel. Is that... Oh, it's an old reference. I don't know. I don't watch kid stuff now. I don't know who's out there getting brainwashed, who the next Britneys and Justins are. I don't know. I mean, it's sick. The whole thing is just, all right. And am I right wing now for thinking that? No, I was molested. Okay. No, that's why. All right. I was a target, frequent target for pedophiles. I wasn't actually, thank God, or maybe not. Sometimes I wish I was fucked, but I was not. I was not fucked. Maybe diddled a little. That was, just questionable gray area, uncle diddling. You know what I mean? But could have been exploited. You think my dad wouldn't have exploited me if he had the chance? I mean, if he was around and if I nailed an audition, maybe that's why he always hated me because I could never nail those auditions. And he's just like, I'm out of here, man. I'm out of this kid's life. He can't even fucking memorize his lines. And I don't know. Maybe I just wanted attention. I have no idea. The attention of being fucked, that would have been, come on. At least I'd have some good material. Maybe I would have had a good one-man show. Okay? Thanks for nothing, Dad. Couldn't even fucking fuck me. You couldn't even fuck me, Dad, man. Fucking, what are you good for? You didn't just give me your name. Don't even give me the trauma and scarred memories to make me an even greater comic, huh? To make me even, do you know the fucking hot, I'd have a hot 30 on this. I could probably headline just on getting fucked. All right, that's dark. Anyways, see? Get rid of no children in the entertainment, even sports. Fuck it. That's what I say. And no one will go because that's a money-making machine. And they're like, oh, the kids love it. Yeah, the kids love it. Yeah, sure. That's what you care about. You really care about the kids slamming into each other when they play football and getting brain jelly. You care about the kids, huh? They're just entertaining to you, and you're living through them, and that's what you're getting out of it. You fucking assholes. All right, sorry. And that's why I will not have children. I cannot. No, anyways, let's move on, okay? Because, I mean, I just feel like there's something, I don't know what it is, this weird fetishization. It's like youth fetishizing that's going on, or that's been going on in our country, right? But that's kind of becoming sickening. It's kind of like a weird sick thing, right? Like old people are the enemy, young people are good, old people are bad. It happens to align politically, and like young people tend to vote Democrat and older people tend to vote Republican. Does that have anything to do with it? I don't know. Is everything filtered through this fucking Coke versus Pepsi bullshit? Unfortunately, yes. It seems like it is, right? All of it, right? And I do feel like that what we're seeing is like some weird. It's not exact. Okay, I think not everybody. A lot of people are making comparisons to the 30s, right? Pre-World War II, like Trump is Hitler. He's the rise of Hitler, and he should have been stopped, and this, and he's gonna exterminate, I don't know, Mexicans or something. I don't know. Exterminate. This is all part of the secret white supremacist plot to exterminate people, like in the fucking Watchmen and shit. It's like there's a genocide coming, or something. The rise of the racist, white nationalist, fascist state, ethno-fascist state, or something like that. So then to counter that, you got your anti-fascists, right? Anti-fascists, which essentially are like anarchist, communist, black bloc sort of people that are kind of unified with what we call the left, right? So that kind of Black Lives Matter, the organization, is sort of a bridge between sort of like the Marxist left and the establishment left, because now, because Black Lives Matter is like, there's NBA stars saying, everybody's saying, oh, that's kind of become part of the mainstream. But there is a Marxist bent to it. And there's a Marxist bent to a lot of what's going on in the culture war, like this idea of cancel culture, the idea of equality of outcome, just all these things that, people, so-called alt-right people, like Jordan Peterson or whatever, Joe Rogan, they've been kind of coming out against or being vocal about. A lot of them happen to be straight heteros or cis heteros or whatever, just like normies, right? Coming out and being like, I don't know if we should just destroy language, and I don't know if we should just destroy all of civilization and tear it all down. And, this whole idea of critical race theory, right? Which nobody actually understands, like, what the fuck is it? But you will understand it when, I talk about like white fragility, or just the idea that people, like white people, are asking for forgiveness. There's this weird penance thing going on. They're like washing black people's feet, or just Venmoing black people, just Venmoing them, which I guess that's fine, man. That's fine, but that's not gonna undo the past. So it's not, and this weird, this idea that like the greatest threat to this country is the specter of racism, when that just I'm not saying racism isn't bad. I'm just saying the greater threat seems to be the extraction of wealth from the lower and middle classes. Soon there will be no middle class, and the wealth disparity will be so large that there will only be very few super rich and a mass of poor who have nothing, who will either fight amongst themselves or will probably fight amongst themselves first and then decide, hey, we should unite and fight the masters. Hopefully. Maybe one day. I mean, that's the vision of the proletariat revolution on the Marxist side. So maybe what they are thinking is like, this is what we need to do to bring about that revolution. What we need to do is accelerate the wealth gap. We got to accelerate all this stuff, and then the revolution will come, right? Then it's going to come. But I think there's like this misguided thing, of communism being good. Well, I know there's a misguided thing of communism being good. I remember one of my favorite teachers in Berkeley was my political science professor, this guy Anton Gregor. He's probably dead because he was like 80 back then. But his whole main thing was about like, let's define these things like communism associated with good, especially in Berkeley. It's a very lefty place. So he's like, commies are always seen as good, fascism is bad. But when you ask people to define them, they can't define them without using those moralistic terms. So this is in some ways kind of like the culture war. People like to say the left has won the culture war. The left has won the culture war because corporations aren't coming out and being like, we believe in a nuclear family of a man and a woman. They're not really, that's not cool now. You got to come out and be like, happy pride, and you got to come out and do the thing, right? So I could see how, like, okay, yeah, you could see the left in some ways. Yes, we could say that they have won the culture war in that most major corporations back the things that the Democrats are behind, right? Black Lives Matter. Major corporations all behind it. Okay. So somehow, I guess, the corporations are not fascist, even though corporations and government collusion is part of the definition of fascism, and that's what's happening when you have things like corporations taking on Democrat slogans or Democrat, platforms or whatever, that is that could be interpreted as a form of proto-fascism, right? The entire entertainment industry all being mouthpieces of the Democratic Party. I mean, that's could be a form of proto-fascism, but of course that's not what most people are talking about. Most people are talking about are the Republicans, of course, Donald Trump, the rise of Donald Trump, the white nationalism and the right-wing populism that's come out of that. Of course, they're going to have some trouble explaining the Mexicans and the black people and the Asians who love to vote Republican and probably will vote for Trump as well in greater numbers, which I feel like a lot of people are predicting. And they're, of course, going to say it's white fragility. It's like white supremacy is so... the sin of it is everywhere that poor yellow monkeys like me and brown people, they just can't help. They can't help it. They're just like so brainwashed. It's the same idea like women are so brainwashed that they support the patriarchy by, not bowing down to the Democrats. It's the same thing. It's like people of color or whatever, pox have a pox on them because they allow white supremacy to continue. That is the contention they're saying. But what I'm saying is that that's dumb and racist for you to even think that. Because this is like, why don't I have my own agency? Why don't I have my own free will and critical thinking? And if anything, I kind of feel like I have better critical thinking skills than you, the one making this completely unreasonable and demonstrably false claim. So, I don't know, man. I mean, you can be... See, that's the whole thing about the feelings. The feelings, it's the meme war, Like, it's all based on feelings, right? It's the feelings that come at me, but, you can't give in to that, I'm not going to give into that. I'm not going to buy into, like, what you're saying. Because in order to even just buy into that proposition, you're telling me the reason I'm not bowing down to the idea of white fragility and voting Biden, the reason for all of that is because I've been brainwashed and I am part of the systemic racism. Like, I'm supporting white supremacy. I'm adjacent, white supremacist adjacent, right? That's what I'm doing. Just by being like, I don't want to vote for Biden. Just by doing that. What if I go, hey, I will vote for Biden. Now I'm done. Now I'm not in the now I'm no longer crypto-fascist. So then it just seems like, I think it just means that you don't like how I think. You just want me to think like you. And anybody who doesn't think like you is evil, and whatever the evil is now is racist, Nazi, whatever, like I'm a racist Nazi. I'm a yellow Nazi. That's what people say. yellow Nazi. Goddamn yellow Nazi. And all right, I guess that's what you want to say. But what I want to say is that you are what you accuse others of. So you're the yellow Nazi. Isn't that crazy? You're a fucking Asian and you're the Nazi. So there. I don't know. That's dumb. See, that's dumb. It's dumb. Anyways, that's why we need J.K. Rowling in there. Training up these Yemenis, man. Taking down the left and the right. Taking everybody down, right? None of this stuff needs to be so much part of our lives. It just all should be rendered absurd and ridiculous so that nobody cares about it, okay? Enough of this everybody being the new host of The Daily Show. Every single goddamn comic is now the host of The Daily Show. That's what's happened. I can't, including me, okay? I'm sick of it. I want to go back to talking about the singularity. I want to go back talking about, all right, rambled on and on about, look, commies are not, they're not good, man. Commies are not. Dude, look at if you want to just talk numbers, death counts, the amount of people who died under Stalin and Mao far surpass the fascists, okay? Now I'm known as a Holocaust denier. Now I'm a Holocaust denier. Okay, right-wing, alt-right, Asian comedian, quote-unquote, quote, air quote, comedian, advocates fascist uprising. Says communism was worse than fascism. Prefers Hitler to Stalin. That's it. Well, nobody really cares about me, so that's what's great. La 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 la, flying under the radar, 'cause I'm a nobody. But you know what? Who's not a nobody? You. You guys are not nobodies for listening, for coming this far, joining me on this journey of the Rojan Kimcast, episode 196. Okay? I think, of course, we have to remember the Yemenis who are out there, who I think should be trained by J.K. Rowling in the coming meme war to generate, dank memes to take down the establishment on both sides so that, America, not to bring America to its knees, but to take America down a peg, just to make fun of America, just to let Americans make fun of it themselves. Maybe destroy ourselves in the process. I don't know, but if anything, if you sympathize with them, empathize even, I understand. I get it. Fucking Skynetting them. They need to do something, and I'm just trying to give them a little advice that the meme war is the perfect entry. Okay, the real war, you're just outgunned. There's nothing you can do about that, and that gives them more reason to just murder everyone. So just meme war. Something to think about. You can start with Saudis. I don't know. Start there. I don't know. Just a suggestion. I'm probably going to be taken to a black site now for suggesting this. I feel like I will probably be Snowdened, but not really because I'm not important. So maybe I will disappear. Or my next podcast will be like, guys, the U.S. government is our friend, and we would never, ever do anything to threaten us. You got the Cuties. False flag. Cuties. The whole thing is false flag. Obama made the whole thing up to get buzz. That's all everything isn't anymore. Everything is just to get buzz. Pedophile rings are just for buzz now. They don't even care. Their hearts aren't even in fucking the kids. It's just for the clout. It's just everything. It's just so sick. It's just all about the status. That's why abolish children in entertainment. Get them out of there. Don't let these commies put your kids in there. They want to put you in a camp or your kids on TV and sexualize them, okay? That's what they want. Don't let them do it. I mean, it doesn't mean fascists are good either. It's not an either or a Coke Pepsi thing. Stop thinking in such binary ways. Come on. All right. Anyways, do I want to wrap up? Well, okay, let's wrap up. Thank you so much for listening to the Rojan Kimcast 196. Please follow me on Instagram, Twitter. Subscribe to my podcast. I'm on YouTube. I'm on Spotify. I'm on Apple. I'm on Google. I'm on Stitcher. Find me. And thank you.